We are using our long-term test bike to demonstrate the range of R&G accessories and crash protection. This is the new Kawasaki ZX10R, which is ideal for showing lots of kit which suits a huge range of bikes. Most of it is quite quick and simple to bolt on yourself, but the Tail Tidy is a bit more ambitious. So let's find out what's involved and how tricky it might be.
If you know your bike, you're not going to have any issues at all with this. It's a fairly simple tail tidy to fit. The thing you've got to ensure is everything's tight and everything's safe. So make sure you follow the bullet points step by step and you will have no issues whatsoever.
Okay, let's crack on. After the seats have come off, what then?
Now I'm going to remove this plastic cover because it allows me access to the wiring plugs, which I've got to unplug to remove it, and it also allows me to route the wires through so they don't snag as I'm removing the original tail tidy. As you can see, I don't have to remove it completely because it has a lot of stuff connected to it, but this just allows me access to the 3 wiring plugs for both indicators and your number plate light. It's a good idea if you mark left and right when you do these. So that's the 3 wires disconnected. Now I'm going to remove the reflector bracket just to give me access to some of the bolts that actually mount the original tail tidy. And when taking out the last one, you actually have to support the bracket and gently lower it, carefully feeding the wires through. Now that is the original tail tidy removed. You can use the OEMs or mini indicators. The ones we have here are R&G Aero indicators, product code 372. And we've got to fit the license plate illuminator, which we have here with a shroud. These will just fit to the brackets now, and then we'll fit them to the bike. So, to start with, it will be the license plate illuminator. Now you'll notice I've pre-fitted the heat shrink to all the wiring to protect it. So then we have a shroud, which is a nice press fit over the light. A little dab of super glue can hold it in place. This is the indicator bracket. These are R&G indicators. We supply adapters. I've also heat shrunk the cables for protection. As you can see, I'm just loosely tightening this up at present. When it's fitted to the bike, I can tighten it up at the correct angle. Let's repeat the same for the other side. That's the indicators mounted to the indicator bracket. Now we just fit this to the main license plate bracket. These can be fully tied. So we feed the wires down through the central slot. That's the assembly ready to mount to the bike. Take the bolts, feed the wires through. Again, there's cable clips and cable tidies you can use to secure the wires. Right, now I'm going to connect the wiring. Because it's a total plug and play unit, we've replicated all the plug sockets so that all you've got to do is plug them in basically and test them. This is for the number plate light, which you can see replicates the original, so that can be routed through to there. We've also got 2 lengths of cable with the original plug replicated on the end of that, so you don't have to cut and shut your original wiring. With them fitted, we now can connect them up to the original plug sockets. Now, unfortunately, our cables aren't colour coded, so if you know which one is which, it's fine. If it's not, check them out. If it's on the wrong side, all you've got to do is swap the wires over. Now we've wired up the indicator and number plate light, now's the time To save you taking the bike to bits again is to check the operation of the number plate light, which you can see we've got, and the operation and flash rate of both indicators. So that is everything electrical done on it. It's a case of tidying up the wiring and refitting the bike as per standard, which will include putting on the plastic cover, the rear cowl and both seats. And again, before you ride the bike, check the operation of all indicators and the number plate light. And finally, fit a new number plate. You may have to drill new holes for mounting points, and also we supply a reflector which will go in the appropriate place for safety reasons.
So as you can see, there are quite a few steps, but they are all quite simple. Our ZX10R is a fairly typical example and gives a good idea of what you might expect to find when fitting a tail tidy to a range of bikes. Speaking of which, there are lots more R&G accessories to take a look at here.